Okay, we're gonna solve simultaneous equation or simultaneous equation. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna label the equation. I'm gonna call this equation 1 and I'm gonna call this equation 2. Then I'm gonna make either x or y the subject. I'm gonna make x the subject using equation 2. So we have x equal 19. We bring over the 3y minus 3y. And I'm going to call that equation 3. So my next step is to substitute equation 3 into equation 1. So anywhere I see x, I'm going to put 19 minus 3y. So that will be 2 times 19 minus 3y plus 5y equals 33. And then we're going to simplify this bracket. So that's 2 times, we're going to multiply the 2 times the 19, and that gives us 38 minus the 2 times the 3y, and that's 6y, plus, then we have plus 5y equals 33. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to simplify. So negative 6y plus 5y, that gives me negative y equals, I'm going to bring over the 38, I have 33. Negative positive 38 goes over, becomes negative 38. So I have negative y equals, and positive 33 minus 38 gives us negative 5, and I want to get rid of the negative, so I'm going to multiply this by 1, multiply 2 by negative 1. So y equals 5. And what I'm going to do now, wherever I see in equation 3, wherever I see y, I'm going to substitute 5. So you have x equals 19 minus 3, and I'm going to substitute the y for 5. Then I'm going to simplify. I have x equals 19. X equals 19 minus 3 times 5 is 15. So I'm gonna have 19. You're gonna have 19 minus 15, and that gives us 4. So when y equals 5, x equals 4. Okay, so I'm gonna start by calling this equation 1 and this equation 2. So I'm gonna make either x or y the subject and call it equation 3. It's easier to use x since the x is standing alone. So I'm gonna have x equals 30 minus 7y, because we bring over the y, so we get 7y. I'm gonna call this equation 3. That's equation 3. That's not negative 3. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to substitute equation 3 into equation 1. So wherever we see x, we'll put 30 minus 7y and that's then we have 30 minus 7y plus the 3y equals 18. We're gonna expand the bracket now. We have 3. We're gonna multiply the 3 times the 30, and that gives us 90 minus positive 3 times 7y, that gives us 21y plus 3y equals 18. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna simplify and bring over the 90. So we're gonna have negative 21 plus 3, and that gives us negative 21y plus 3y, that gives us negative 18y equals 18 minus 90. So we're gonna have 18, positive 18 minus 90, that gives us negative 72. So that's 18y equals 72. That's negative 18y gives us negative, and that's negative 72. So what I'm gonna do is divide by negative 18 and divide this side by negative 18. We get y equals negative 72 divided by negative 18, that gives us 4. So y equals 4. And we're gonna substitute the y equals 4 into equation 3. So we're gonna have x equals 30 minus 7, and we'll substitute the y. Okay, and then now we have x equals 30 minus 7. We're gonna have minus 7 times the 4 times the positive 4. So minus 7 times positive 4, that gives us negative 28. So I'm gonna work this now, simplify. So we're gonna have 30 minus 28, that gives us 2. So when x equals 2, y equals 4. Okay, here is the next example. It's similar to the first one, but I'm gonna do it a different way. I'm not gonna use equation 2 this time. I'm gonna use equation 1. So I'm gonna call this equation 1, and I'm gonna call this equation 2, and I'm gonna make x or y the subject using equation 1. So I'm gonna choose x. We're gonna have 2x equals 16 minus 2y, and we need to make x the subject here. We're gonna have 2 divided by 2, so that's equation 3, and I'm gonna substitute equation 3 into equation 2. So anyway, you see x, you're gonna put the 16 minus 2y all over 2 minus 3y equals 4. Okay, now want to get rid of the 2 under the bottom here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna multiply each term by 2. So you're gonna have 2 times that means times 16 minus 2y over 2 minus 3y times the 2 because we're multiplying each term by 2, and that's 4 times 2 also. So this is gonna cancel out this is gonna cancel out. So what we'll have up here now, I'll have 16 minus 2 minus 2y minus 3 times y is 6y, and that's equal to 8. And next we're gonna simplify and I'm gonna solve for y. So negative 2y and negative 6y, that gives us negative 8y. And what we're gonna do next, we're gonna have the 8 here, we're gonna bring over the 16, so that would be negative 16. So when I guess, we're gonna have negative 8y equals, we have positive 8 minus 16, that's negative 8. And now what we want to do, want to simplify, want to make have y on the one side. So now what we're gonna do is divide through by negative 8. What we do on one side, we have to do it on the next side. That's negative 8 cancel negative 8, so we got y equals negative 8 into negative 8 is 1. So y equals 1. So we're gonna take the y equal 1 and substitute it into equation 3 here. Okay, so we have x equals 16 minus 2, and we're gonna put the y 1 all over 2. So x equals 16 minus 2 all over 2. And the next step is we have 16 minus 2, and that's 14. The x equals 14 over 2. X equals, we're gonna divide 14 by 2, and that's 7. So when x equals 7, y equals 1.